This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore. Every once in a while, a story breaks, comes across my desk, as it were, that makes me kind of happy. I've long been a fan of Eric Swalwell. I think Swalwell is swell. Man, I am a corny clown. I like him. I think he's effective at messaging. I think that he has a heart and a passion for service. I think he cares about what his job is. So when a dum-dum, an objective dumb shit like Kevin McCarthy is going head-to-head, chest-to-chest with Eric Swalwell in some bizarre machismo moment where Kevin McCarthy thinks he's going to be able to physically best the much younger, much more fit Eric Swalwell. We're going to talk about it. Here's the headline. If you haven't seen this, get ready. From the Daily Beast. You are a pussy. Kevin McCarthy and Eric Swalwell get in the House floor feud. There's a story going around Capitol Hill that Democrats insist you just have to hear. It's how Kevin McCarthy is a pussy. By the way, before people get all up in arms, they mentioned it in the article, pussy is not necessarily some gendered slur. It comes from the word pusillanimous, which is lacking courage and resolution, marked by contemptible timidity. That's where the word comes from. So I'm going to continue to say it. On June 21st, the day Republicans voted to censure Adam Schiff, Democrats stood on the House floor and shouted shame at their GOP colleagues. As the spectacle was taking place, one of the leaders of the demonstration, Representative Eric Swalwell, Democrat of California, was standing in the well of the House near the Speaker's podium and delivered some harsh words to his fellow Californian. "This is pathetic," Swalwell allegedly told McCarthy, who was presiding over the House at the time. "You're weak. You're a weak man." Now, here is footage of that. Here you will see, I'll just play like 15 or 20 seconds, because it's like a long video, 15, 20, 30 seconds of it. I'll keep a timer on it for you. And I'll put a circle over Swalwell, and I'll boost the audio so you can hear what he's saying. And this, you may seem like you can't really hear, but that's only because of the microphones. I've been on the floor of the House dozens of times, and you can hear very clearly, if you're just speaking in a normal voice, between those two spots where Eric Swalwell stood and where Kevin McCarthy stood in the presiding officer's chair. So know that just because we can't hear it all that well doesn't mean it wasn't pouring into the ear of Kevin McCarthy. Watch this.
By its adoption of House Resolution 521, the House has resolved that the House of Representatives censures Adam Schiff
Yeah. Nice. Look, I don't think it will become any surprise to you that someone as aggressive as me, as bombastic as me, as dedicated to the prospect of democracy and defending it by whatever means, isn't going to be offended by this kind of language, isn't going to be offended by these types of tactics. You call a coward a coward. You call someone shameful, you call them shameful. You call someone who's weak, like Kevin McCarthy, like Eric Swalwell did, you call them weak. The exchange was conveyed to the Daily Beast by two separate lawmakers. When reached by phone, Swalwell said he could not discuss the story with the press, but he also did not deny the account. McCarthy's office didn't respond to a request for comment, of course. As the story goes, McCarthy was visibly upset with Swalwell. Quote, "He had a vein popping out of his forehead," one member told the Daily Beast, in a likely flourish of storytelling. Another Democratic member who witnessed the exchange said McCarthy stared down Swalwell for about 10 seconds before walking away. But the next day is when things got interesting. On June 22nd, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi visited Capitol Hill for a joint address to Congress. Just before Modi took the speaker's podium, Swalwell was on the House floor, making his way to a bathroom just outside the chamber on the Republican side. That's when McCarthy saw him. McCarthy said, "If you ever say something like that to me again, I'm going to kick the shit out of you," a member claimed to the Daily Beast. Another member who witnessed the exchange provided even more context. They were in each other's faces, basically nose to nose, and Swalwell said something like, "Are we really going to do this?" After some back and forth with chests puffed out, McCarthy issued a challenge to Swalwell. "Call me a pussy again and I'll kick your ass," the speaker allegedly said. While both members told nearly identical versions of the story, they both delivered Swalwell's response in exactly the same way. This is great. I mean, if this doesn't make you like Eric Swalwell, you're just not going to like Eric Swalwell. This was his response to all of this back and forth to Kevin McCarthy. "You are a pussy." Eric, can we be best friends? You likely have no idea who I am. I live in the same city as you. We need to be best friends. "You are a pussy," Swalwell told McCarthy. After both men stared each other down for another moment, McCarthy eventually relented. He stepped to the side and let Swalwell through to the bathroom without the Daily Beast notes, without kicking his ass, and carried on with his duty hosting the leader of a major U.S. ally in the House chamber. Last paragraph here, dealing with the pusillanimous issue. While Democrats may not love the particular insult, a gendered slur denoting that someone lacks courage, they are absolutely delighting in the exchange. They believe it's indicative of McCarthy's empty threats and ultimate weakness. That's because Kevin McCarthy is a pussy. Kevin McCarthy is a feckless, weak, sinister coward. Are you going to threaten to kick my ass, Kevin McCarthy? Because I can tell you, you're going to have a little rougher time with me than you would with Eric Swalwell. And I think Eric Swalwell would make easy work of the spineless. What do you think? I mean, look, I understand if this is an off-putting story to some. I get it. Not to me, but I understand. What do you think? You can leave a comment below. We can talk about it there. You can also call and leave me a brief voicemail, 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me daily@dollemore.com. If you appreciate what I do, I'm going to get myself in trouble. If you appreciate what I do and you want to help support my work, produce my work right here on YouTube, click the join button below, become a channel member, click the super thanks button below, or go over to patreon.com/IDoubtIt podcast. After all that, you want to follow me on social media, or before that, I'm not going to tell you what order to do it in. Please, you can subscribe, or you can follow me on social media. I'm at Dollemore, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Threads, all the social media, Facebook, it's all the same. I'd love to see you there. Anyway, I will see you next time. Hopefully something like this again, but more than likely it'll be something a little bit more serious. Be genuine. Take care of one another.